Good morning, Jim Hodges here. Johnny Cash, Cash for short, is here. Cash is a 9-month-old doodle, came in for our residency training program, primarily to address behaviors. We don't want him to jump on people. We don't want him to jump on the other dog, which is a natural thing to happen when a dog's trying to assert themselves into a pack, especially when he's the young one and the other dog is the older. There's a conflict of interest there, and I'll talk about that. But we use obedience to work on those behaviors. Why? Because obedience allows us to communicate with our dog in a moment of time, and when he does it, we praise him. If he doesn't do it, we bite him. We provide a consequence. Praise is words, touch, treat, toy, positive emotion. Positive emotion, remember, okay? Consequence, primarily in what we're doing right now, is words and touch, okay? Why words and touch? Because touch, I believe, is the primary form of communication between dogs. Look at dogs in a dog park. I'm not crazy about dog parks. Look at dogs in the litter. Dogs are physically active. They're running, jumping, bumping, biting. They're being physical with each other. That's their primary form of communication, at least in my opinion, okay? So we're going to use touch when they're good and bad. That same litter, when mom got irked, she may growl, and then she may growl and grab. Same thing, not here to hurt the dog, but here to let them know what's happening, okay? So I'm gonna work him with obedience, and I'm gonna share with you the behaviors and how to best address them. Everything we start with is a loose leash, on leash, okay? It's not a tight leash, because when it's tight, we're doing the work for him. I want him to have to think about things, okay? He gets a little distracted at times, that's puppy, that's perfectly okay. He just needs to focus when we ask him to focus. You ready, man? Let's go. Atta boy, good boy. So he saw my reach, saw the positive emotion. He's walking with me, I stop. If he was to walk out from me, I would tap the leash right here to my side. When I stop, if he wants to sit, I don't care. I just don't want him to pull on a leash, okay? So, and I want to keep him right here. Let's go is right in here. It's not out there, it's not back there, it's not there, it's right here, okay? And again, if he moves out from my side, I'm going to tap the leash. I'm not going to pull it. When I pull it again, I do the work for him. I'm going to tap it so he has to think about what I want, okay? And when I tap it, I'm going to tell him no. All right, let's go. Sit. Good boy. Sit, hand signal means sit. When I tell him to sit, he needs to sit. If he didn't sit, I would tap the leash again, but it would be upwards this time. No, sit. And then good boy. Every time I consequence, when my dog does it right, I'm going to come back and give them a modicum of praise to let them know, yeah, that's what I wanted, so that they can learn from it, okay? And then if need be, well, of course, when they do it right, what am I going to do? Words, touch, treat, toy, positive emotion. So now he's in that sit, and he's got to hold that sit until I release him, okay? Good boy. I'm proud of you. Break. Good. Give you a little treat for that. Break. So notice I broke him. Break is a release from a command. When we give our dogs a command, we can go from one command to another, but I use break to release him. Now that means he doesn't have to work anymore, okay? But he still can't what? Pull on me or jump on me or anything like that. Atta boy. Sit. Another thing we can do either sit or loose leash or what have you is the come command. When I broke him just then, I brought my hands here, I stepped back, I am teaching him the precursor to having him come for me when I ask him to do it. So I'm gonna straighten up. Hand signal, he sits. He had to look at me. If you go back and look at the video, good boy. Right. I wanted him to look at me, not at my hands, because he likes treats. Don't want him to look for the treat. I wanted him to understand that he has to look at me to get it, if that makes sense. So this is the come command, okay? Comes and sits in front of me on leash. We practice this a lot. We actually do the break a lot, and break and step back, okay? I can tell you right now, he did this in the beginning. This is one of the behavior things is when he comes to you, he may want to jump on you. So when he gets to you, you got to be ready to bite him. You can bite him if you've got a leash. If not, you grab a scruff, you grab a snout, real lightly. You're not trying to hurt him. Tell him no, put him back down on the ground and pat him. And then go back and break again. And you do it again and again until he gets it right. Because he may very well do that. I tell people that dogs learn in environments and scenarios, and when they find something that has rewarded them in the past, they're going to keep doing it until we show them it's something that we don't like. And in the event it was something that you did like, you would put a word to it and you have a new command or a trick, okay? Let's go. Good boy. We're going to turn back around. We're going to do this from down. I usually start down with a sit command, but he knows down from the side. When I ask him to down, he lays down. If he didn't down, this is his head, I would go, no, down. If he got up, it would be no, down. When I tell him to down, I expect him to hold that. If he did get up on us and move, we would bring him back to this place. When he's down, I don't want him going to sleep, rolling on the side, smelling the ground, picking up something off the ground. He needs to be down and ready for the next command. Sit. Good. Now D-O-W-N from the front. Down. Same thing. So I have here from the side. Good boy. You see him wagging his tail? He's happy with it. Down from front. I'm going to pet him and love him. Good boy. So now, stay. Now I told him to stay. That's a little bit different than the normal down and the from the front of the side, standing up or sitting down. Stay means pack your bags. You're going to be there a while. Every dog that comes in here, and I believe should go at home, needs to do a down stay for 10-15 minutes or so, daily or every other day in the beginning. And the reason being is down is the most submissive command a dog would do for its owner, and that's a great place for you to put your stamp of leadership. Remember, we're going to be a happy family, but parents are still the leader. Well, we're the leader here with him, and by putting him in the down stay, he understands we control everything. The shots are there, 10-15 minutes at a time. So stay, open palm is teaching him to stay, just like that. We can actually take that stay and expand it. We could be in a room, we could tell him, not in a down, but we say stay as we walk out the room, and he's going to stay in that room. Now, he doesn't have to down, but he needs to stay in that room. If he came through, we would bite him right back. No, 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 stay, and we walk back out of the room. Same with the, good boy. So now, why did I give him a reward? Because he was watching me. That was like manna from heaven, I call it. He didn't know he was going to get rewarded for that, but when our dog is doing something we like, we want to reward him with words, touch, treat, toy, positive emotion, all of that in the beginning as much as we can. We want to overload his senses with our words and the positivity of our words, okay? But in the stay, down stay or stay, if he gets up, we're going to take him right back to where it is and start it all over again, okay? Good boy. Break. Hand signal. Good. Let's go. All right, another command that is a really good command to have is the place command. The place command is where he gets on his bed, lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book. I don't care. He likes it. He can do it easily for a couple of hours at a time, okay? Okay, place. Attaboy. So he can do whatever. He can smell the bed. He can smell the ground around it. He's just got to stay on the bed. I'm not going to give him obedience command. The obedience command for place is not sit or down or anything like that, okay? So he's standing up. Does that matter to me? No. Eventually, he's going to sit down or lay down, but we had another dog on the bed, so he's checking out all the smells from the other dog, okay? Not a big deal, as long as he stays there. If he started to walk off, I would tell him no, and tap back towards the center of the bed and then tell him place again, okay? So I'm gonna give him a minute just to see if he starts to do it so I can demonstrate it. I don't think he will, but he might fool me. So I'm even gonna walk around a little bit. Good. So while he's there, I'm gonna talk about behaviors. One of his behaviors is the jumping up on people. Okay, you remember what I talked about environments and scenarios? Is so important. Every time somebody new comes in the house, he's going to jump on them. So what are we going to do? In the beginning, we can't have him running loose. We have to have him on a leash. We have to have him in a command. We have to do something so we can start to introduce the proper way to greet someone. Greeting them jumping up is not the way. But why does he jump up? Because ever since he was this little, when he jumped up on people, he was petted and loved and given attention. I tell people all the time, we started training our dogs to jump from a very early age. Now we take it away. So if we don't have the leash on, we grab the scruff, not hard. We grab the snout, not hard. We tell him no. What are we doing? Just like mom, we're taking physical control of the situation. We steal him, pet him, and go right back. We can't just do that once a week. We have to do it over and over and over again. So as soon as he makes the right decision, we can praise him. But what I tell about environment scenarios, someone can come in, then a different person can come in. And the way I believe dogs learn is he learns from that first person coming in, I can't jump on them anymore. But as soon as someone else comes in that's been a part of his life and he's learned to jump on them in the past, he's going to jump on them. So what do we have to do? We start the training all over. I love using the little tab, the little small leash I talk about, and I use this. You're not going to have to do it forever as long as you're consistent and patient, and you'll become the leader, okay? So place is real good. Remember, if he gets off, we're going to tap right back to him, okay? The other thing that he does is that he jumps on the older dog in the family. He's almost twice as big as the other dog, okay? I believe when we can do it safely, we let them sort it out between themselves. At some point in time, it may get too much. Then if he's the instigator, you're going to have to bite him. And how are you going to bite him? With the tab, the leash, or just what I was saying before. And you're going to have to do it. That's why obedience is so, so important. Remember I said in the beginning, it teaches yes and no, what he's doing right and what he's doing wrong. Okay, let's go. Atta boy. Sit. Good boy. So the hand signal for place is pointing at the bed. The other thing we have is the heel command. The heel command is where he's by our side, we tell him to heel, and he stays by our side or tries to maintain by our side, and when we stop, he sits, okay? I call it a tighter let's go, because let's go is almost the same thing except we don't ask him to sit. People may use this for markets or just because they feel comfortable. That's not a problem. Just realize on the heel that he should sit and hold it. So here we go, hand signal, heel. So we walk around, we stop, no sit, good boy. Heel, we're gonna do it again. Good boy. Heel. So now, why am I doing it a couple of times? Because he had a moment of brain fade there, and that's okay. We worked through it. Only one perfect person ever walked this earth, and it's not us, it's not you, we know who it is. So again, heel, hand signal. So when our dog does mess up, just like I was talking about on the place, we have to practice it over and over. And that's to teach him what we like and what we don't like. So, so, so important, okay? So normally if a dog messes up something he knows, I'm gonna come back and do it at least 2 times correctly. I did it 3 there. Personally, I do it 3 times, but I ask my owners to at least do it 2 times correctly and then move on. When we're training, we only need to work with him 30 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes. In the beginning, I say try to get 10, 15 minutes at least once a day, but we start to do it as real life as well. We never give him a command, especially as we transition to off-leash. We never give a command unless we know he's gonna do it or we're in a position to make him do it. Let's go. You know, the only other thing that we have, there's 2 things I wanna talk about. But one is to load up in the vehicle or get up on furniture. Load up. Atta boy. Break. Let's go. The only other thing he has is he gets sick in the car. So and many of you may have had that happen as well. What I tell people is we have to back things off. We don't give our dog water or food before they get in the car. And I'll practice it at home. I'll load him up in the car, let him sit there. Maybe I'll even, if my dog is really food motivated, I'll even give a treat or feed him there in the morning. Let's go, I'm in the sun. While he's there, I might leave the hatch open or the door open. Good boy, that's step 1. When he can do that for 10, 15 minutes without starting to stress, we're ready to move to the next step. What would be the next step? It may be you get in a car and act like you're driving, or shut the door and sit in the front and see if he's doing it. If he's doing good, you reward him. Reward is a different thing when you started becoming the leader, okay? Praise is praise, but praise when you're the leader means something, because you're the leader, good boy, and he wants to do what you ask him to do. Then the next thing is you crank the car. Does it happen overnight? But you start to move and you take baby steps to get him more and more comfortable. Then when you are ready to drive, you drive around the block, come back, give him a great reward, let him know how good he was, and hopefully that stress will start to go away. You know, he's not a real stressful dog, so I'm thinking it's something that can be corrected. So remember, obedience is great for behaviors. It's the primary way of correcting behaviors where we can be balanced, teach our dog what we like and what we don't like in the moment. When he does something right, we're going to praise him. If he comes in, he runs to the dog or runs to us and doesn't jump, we want to reward that behavior. He said, oh, that's what mom and dad mean. I can do that. Of course, if he runs and jumps, we have to be ready to bite it. Our job is to be consistent, to be the leader, to be calm, strong, confident, and positive, okay? And teach through the repetition. He's a smart guy. It's not going to take him long to learn these behaviors as long as you're consistent with what you do. One other thing is when we have families that have 3 different people in the family, if only one is consistent or 2 is consistent, what's going to happen when the 3rd's around? He's going to do whatever he used to do. Remember the environment scenario rule I talked about in the beginning. I'm here for you. If you ever have a question, you ever want to work together, just give me a call, 336-945-3232. Jim Hodges again, JimHodgesDogTraining.com. I really thank you for your trust, and I'm here for you. I'm here for this guy, and he's being really good right now. We want to praise that good, calm behavior. Okay, remember, sleeping, laying down, being calm, we praise that so he has a goal for what to get to. Thank you so much, and God bless. Bye-bye.